Hi Sages, and welcome to your May 2020 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to talk to you about the energies coming in for your sign this month. So welcome back, Sages. I hope you're feeling okay. Crazy month coming up for you. I think it can go really well if you let yourself detach a little bit from the previous upsets that you've been having. Taurus season is always a little bit interesting for Sagittarius. I talk sometimes about the relationship between Taurus and Sagittarius. They're kind of similar creatures, like the bull and the horse or the centaur. They are, pasture animals. They are kind of related, but they're kind of like jealous of each other too. The horse kind of wants what the bull has, and the bull kind of wants what the horse has. The horse is very attractive, and it's very coordinated, and it can, and it's very revered. And then the bull is kind of, more slow and more, it's like more eaten as well. So the bull wants the respect that Sag or the horse has, and then Sagittarius kind of wants the gentleness and the easiness of the bull's life as well. So there's always something in May, I think, that Sagittarius gets a little bit discouraged with, or like a grass is greener on the other side complex that comes in May, sometimes for Sag, but it's usually for a purpose and with a really good reason, so that you can kind of identify what you actually want your life to look like. And, maybe you see other people, or you see other ways of doing things, or other ways of success, and you're kind of like, that's kind of always what I've wanted, but I don't really have that, or I don't feel like that's what is finding me. And I'm not going to lie, for some of you, there is a bit of a tough time through May, but it is only for the best of reasons, okay? Some of you just might have a hard decision to make, like a hard check to write, or a hard, title to accept or something. It feels like Sages have to kind of like man up, or kind of rise to the occasion, or make a choice, stay or go, something like that. And it's not the easiest time to be like in stay or go mode during May of 2020, I'll be honest with you. Because I think that Taurus is about the solidification. It's about fixing. It's about, what I mean by fixing, it's a fixed earth sign, so it makes things more permanent. It makes things more predictable. So a lot of us who are really thriving in the month of May are people who have found what they like, okay, and been able to, or accept what they like, and accept their circumstances, and make that, their best possible outcome for now. And I don't really feel that that's necessarily where Sagittarius is. I'm not feeling a lot of satisfaction from the Sagittarius energy line. I'm feeling, in fact, I'm feeling a lot of not even just dissatisfaction, but maybe even hatred, or resentment for what's going on. And when you feel those emotions, it is oftentimes a big time for a change. Kind of hard to change during Taurus season, so this is your crux this month, Sag. There are some really good things coming in, and I will talk about them, but let's get these more tough things out of the way before we go there. I think that you guys are feeling disconnected or detached from your from the meat and potatoes of your life, or the everyday experiences you're going through. And I think that this might be the best time to end a relationship, or to begin a new relationship, or to finally be with yourself for a little while. Basically, yeah, and this is kind of tough, like Taurus season, May, before we get to Gemini season, so before May 21st, that for Sagittarius is like realizing what needed to change a long time ago, and realizing that, yeah, it would have been really good to have done it back then, but maybe having to do it now, okay? And it prepares you for Gemini season, which is an incredible time of the year for you guys. I'm not lying, Sag. June will be beautiful for you if you can choose not to take the cold road here. Five of Pentacles reversed. You might see what does not offer you much, and really be able to not choose that. And also, if you take the blindfold off and look at things for what they are, that's going to be a big importance for Sag. I keep looking to Two of Swords, okay? I keep being drawn to that. So there's something that's like guarded, and not really seeing the truth, or not really seeing how things actually were, maybe sugarcoating or glorifying things, or even using your own ability to visualize as an escape. So maybe you don't like where you are, or you're having to do something that's pretty hard, and just to get through it, you imagine something very different while you're doing it. And that kind of lapses the reality. And we all do that sometimes. It's not always horrible, but I would definitely encourage you, Sag, to think about what it takes to be okay with where you are and what it takes to get through it. Because I think for some of you, it's taking way too much. And again, a change needed to be made long ago, and now maybe it has to be made. But for others of you, it's kind of like getting good, getting good with where we are, or accepting that it could be a lot harder. There is a difficulty in Sagittarius. I will definitely point this out. There is a difficulty to empathize, okay? There is a difficulty to really see different situations, or a difficulty to relate to others. And it doesn't mean that you don't have empathy or that you're lacking in empathy, but I'm not feeling that it's the most prevalent thing for you right now, and it's okay. You've had a lot of things that you've had to really focus on that dealt with your own path, and this is like the culmination of that here, okay? So the moral of that story is try to see how it could be a lot worse. I hate it when people tell me that, like, it could be way worse. There are people starving here and there. That is not always true, but this is one of those times where maybe that type of mentality is not so horrible. Good things coming in for Sag in the month of May. Leaving behind old power dynamics, okay? Getting out from under somebody's thumb. Feeling like you can breathe again, feeling like you're not so heavy, like things are not so burdensome. As you exhale and release some of these things that were so difficult, other things subside, okay? And finally, maybe releasing a self-expectation, or like, I have to look this way, I have to make this much money, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to travel there, and just kind of like being okay with it, just kind of breathing for once. Sagittarius, I think you got to learn how to breathe in May. You know what I mean? And so basically, we have to be okay that things are a little bit simple in May. Okay, it's not like the bright stage with the fancy lights and the budget. It's the simple performance on the couch with the acoustic guitar. Okay, and as a Sagittarius, we kind of want to go all out and make things really big, and this is where things are like kind of simple and set in place. Okay, and much more than that is just kind of I don't know, turning our wheels, spinning our wheels. Let's talk about the week-to-week Sagittarius and get some more, hopefully, positive messages coming in. I am putting together an extended reading on Patreon. If you would like to see it, I'll link it below, and I'll link it at the end of the video as well. I know we're having such a great positive reading so far. I know y'all are just dying to see the extended. But, these types of readings are real. These types of readings are serious. Things aren't always perfect, and things aren't always passionate either, and we have to really see that and figure out what we can do to make changes, and that's what we are doing in this reading. Week number 1, Sages. 6 of Wands reversed, rooted down by 7 of Cups reversed. You are a little bit outside of yourself, okay? You are a little bit, I'm seeing a lot of visualization. So it's like you're running, or you're, making breakfast, or you're doing a job or something. And while you're doing it, you're not there, okay? You are not anywhere in that vicinity. You're thinking about, oh, my next, big trip, or my next big vacation, or my next, big project, while you're doing it. And I would usually support that type of thing. In fact, I'm all about that. Like, I'm all about, doing what we need to do to get through. And it's been a tough time for everybody these last few months. But I think that it might have come to a bit of a weird place for you, where you're not grounded, okay? Taurus season demands us grounded. Right. So if we can't ground, we might kind of be grounded by the universe, as if it were like our, crazy mother or father. So we can feel, I think you're feeling a little grounded, and that can be nice, actually. Okay, Sag. You're such a bright, shining energy. You're so like hot. And sometimes to maintain that, you just have to like turn it off here and there. So turn it off in the first week, Sag. Something has to be turned off. Something needs to be put to the background so that you can be in the foreground, right? 6 of Wands reversed is about not really having a clear idea of what we represent, or how we derive confidence, or our duties in life, not really being clear on what that looks like. So, or that coming in roundabout ways. So if we can't choose, it might get chosen for us. Seven of Cups reversed is about no longer being satisfied with visualizing things outside of yourself. So rather than thinking about, okay, I want the music career, now we're thinking, okay, I'm going to do the music career, right? Rather than just thinking, I want this, I want this, I want that, 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 and never really being present. Okay, Sag, we got to really work on that in the first week. It's not always bad. Like, that can be a good thing. Like, you guys have to get motivation in some way, and probably for the next 11 years after this, that will be fine. But the Jupiter in Capricorn year, when your planet is in its debilitated sign, that doesn't really motivate you in the same way that it used to. So Sag does a lot of visualizing, and that might not be the most tactful thing to be doing right now. You know, this is like, for example, you've got things in the oven, you know, you're cooking and you're sitting on the couch and you're visualizing, and we accidentally burn the kitchen down. Like, we have to wake up sometimes and know the right time. So if you're a very visual person, as I am, and I also have a lot of Sagittarius placements, if you're super, super visual and like always kind of like outside of yourself, I think that you have to devote time to it. I think that you have to meditate or like actually set a time, you know, especially if you got like Leo rising or something and you're having a big 6th house transit. You got to make a time to visualize and then everything else that you're doing is not really the time for visualizing. You know, I'm cooking when I'm cooking. I'm tending to myself when I'm tending to myself. I'm doing my job when I'm doing my job, and that's that. It's fixed. It's clear. It's set. It's vital for you guys this month. Week number 2, you have 5 of Pentacles reversed, rooted down by Page of Swords. So, I would just get out of all of these old, like, secrets, all of the, you know, rummaging through the past, rummaging through things, seeking out, you know, searching for the answer. It's like all there. It's all available to you, and it's not that complicated. You know, again, Taurus season, it's like, it's not complicated. It just is. You know, let the universe give to you. Let even people around you give to you. Watch out for rejecting. I've been seeing a lot of 5 of Pentacles lately, and that totally makes sense with the financial crisis that we're in here in the US, at least, and to an extent the entire world. 5 of Pentacles is real. You know, we're operating on less. We're kind of rationed, you know. But it's kind of reversed for you, Sag, so maybe you're not as affected, or maybe if you are very affected by it, it's not hitting you as hard as you thought that it might. And with Page of Swords rooting it down, I think that there's a big lesson about, wow, what has money meant to me? What has the economy meant to me? What has, you know, having what I used to have before, like, January, for example, what did that matter to me? And do I now feel differently about what that was? Do I wish I had it more? Am I okay with the way that things are now? It's good to get clear in the second week about how you feel. I'm feeling you to flip-flop a little bit. Like, one day you're like, oh, I just love where I live, and the next day you're like, oh my god, I've got to get me out of here. Or like, one day you're like, I just love having this amount of money, it makes things easier. Or like if you have a lot of money, it's like, oh wow, I finally have a lot of money. Or if you have very little money, you're like, oh wow, now I don't have to worry about it. You know, my job is closed down, I don't even have to think about it, you know. It's like great for you one day, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so upset that I don't have this money. Or if you have a lot, it's like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do? What do I do with it, you know? There's a lot of this with Sagittarius, where it's like this flip-flop, here, there, love it, hate it type of thing. It's kind of like a Scorpio. So Sagittarius, you have regressed just a little bit. And that's okay. It happens in every person's life, you know, when we're not operating super great or using our energy in a way that's making us really proud, we kind of regress to the sign before us. So if you're having a lot of scorpionic experiences and having like a lot of like, whoa, extremes and feeling very volatile or a bit like operating through polarity, you just need to remember what you represent as a person. What a great time to identify yourself and to understand what you stand for. Because I'm feeling you guys to be like on a different wavelength with it every day. Like, even like politically, it's like, I want to be with this party or that part, and then the next day I want to be with that party, or, you know, so for those of you Sagittarius who kind of can really identify yourself, and you have a lot of philosophies and principles and possessions that you feel the same about every single day, you're doing well. And that's not, you might not even be in any of the category that I've spoken about so far. I'm really trying to help heal some of the Sages who are not sure how they feel about anything, okay? And if you're not sure how you feel about anything, it's really likely that you're thinking too much about other people, or you don't feel resolved with people from the past, or you're living with people who are like really like exuberant energetically, and I think that you just need some like stillness. We talked about how stillness can kind of be an issue in the beginning, but it's not so much stillness that you need, it's more so stability. Yeah, we all want that. It's more so like stability that you need. You need like people around you who are a constant, who like aren't on different sides of things every day, who aren't like shaking, tremorous people. Let's move on, Sagittarius. Week number 3 of May, you have the Emperor reversed, rooted down by 2 of Swords reversed. So we are dealing with like kind of delicate things for Sagittarius. Like you are dealing with some delicate things in your life, delicate power dynamics, and you might just kind of trample through it. You might just kind of like, very noisily clank through all of these like delicate things, as Sagittarius is that type. And that's not wrong. I kind of think that might even be like humorous or the best thing, but it will kind of leave an aftertaste. I think you'll see that things don't end as easily as you thought. But the good thing about the 3rd week is, I think that it's so easy for you to just see things for what they are finally, or you can cover your eyes. Free will for Sagittarius in the 3rd week of May. Not really being held back. The Emperor reversed is like, you have like carte blanche, basically. You have like great amounts of options available to you. And you're maybe not so happy about that either. Because it's like, what do we do? Sometimes having too many options leads to stagnation, especially in such a Capricorn-oriented year. So you might want to actually, commit yourself to something. If you've got like way too many options, you might have to take some of them away from yourself, and watch out for how you use that message. What I mean by that is like, if you've got all these people who want to date you, or all these people who want to be your friend, all of these different employers asking you to like come work for them, it's not getting you anywhere. You just have to make a choice. Maybe you've got to like block some of those old people. Okay. Maybe you've got to put your phone on silent sometimes. This is what I'm talking, when I say take away some of your options, like please, Sag, don't be putting yourself all day, every day in a situation where constantly you're having to like answer people's messages, and constantly you're having to like tend to other people and tend to all these other things. Allow yourself to put the phone on silent. Okay. Lay in a dark room here and there. Get it together, Sag. Get it together. This is what I mean for you. And maybe that's really the best thing. Maybe that's what I'll title your reading. Because you guys are so strong, so powerful. You just had a Jupiter return last year. And yeah, the year after a Jupiter return for Sag is kind of tough because it goes into its debilitated sign. But you have a lot, okay? You have a lot. Get it together. Week number 4, you have the Devil rooted down by 4 of Swords reversed. And this is sort of like the week where things get decided, or where you see what it all brought to you, what all of these, stories you've been involved with, what they all brought to you, what did I do good? Did I do bad? Am I proud of myself? Am I not proud of myself? Did I or didn't I cut the shackles? Did I like draw up the boundaries? Did I take them down? Again, working through duality majorly. It's not really the best thing for you, but the 4th week is going to really clear it up, because you're into Gemini season there, and the energy starts to get a lot better. So immediately 4th week of May, you're going to have to just cut the shackles, okay? Anything that's been having a hold over you, or anything that's been sort of cheating you or holding you hostage, like energetically, anything that feels reminiscent of that has to be cut away. And you could do it before then, or you could kind of be like made to do it then. I kind of feel, I don't want to say, like, it's crazy to think that I would say to a Sagittarius, like, assume the worst, but maybe it's good to really have like a plan B, or it's like really good to think, if this were to happen, or if there was this falling out that I've felt coming for like years and years now, what would I do in a situation like that? And then if it doesn't happen, it's gravy, and it never happened, and you didn't have to deal with it. But don't be caught with your pants down, either. Like, I kind of feel that for Sag, and I feel like you feel like you were kind of caught with, in a vulnerable place, and now it's time to maybe reclaim that vulnerable space, or something like that, something along those lines. Because you need the vulnerable space. You need to be connecting to your own vulnerability, to feel like you are motivated and to feel like you're moving forward. But try to not exhaust yourself. I feel like by the 4th week, you might be pretty exhausted of something, or you might be thinking, wow, I've been doing this for way too long. That went way longer than it was supposed to go. And you might even have been feeling that for like a month now, or since April. You might like that might have really come up in April. You know, April's the 4th month of the year. That's the 4 of Swords. So it points back to that. So you might have really felt like, whoa, what am I doing? Like these wake up calls, and on one hand, Sagittarius, that is a like folly, and it's not like real. But on the other hand, if it feels like really wrong, like don't stay there, you know. That's where you kind of get skewed with things, is it's like you're still captivated by these things that are like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? So being captivated, okay, captivity, the devil, things like that. So are you really doing other people's bidding? Are you feeling autonomous? Are you feeling independent? Those are the areas of our lives that that a Sagittarius is fixing up in May. And I would like to say, Sag, that it really doesn't have to be that bad. This could be very liberating. This could be very nice. This could be very compelling and captivating, you know. But Sagittarius is very optimistic. It's very like happy-go-lucky. It's very, yeah, I'm a Sagittarius, you know, cheerleader. So it's like, if you imagine like cheerleaders being like rained on, you know, it's like, oh my gosh, what's going on? But it's not really that big of a deal either, you know. It's things like that, Sagittarius. So let's make the choices that we need to make. Let's know when a situation is not safe or not well, and choose immediately to break those shackles if that were the case. And let's not also convince ourselves that things are worse than they have to be either, and just be balanced and decisive within your experience, and you will do totally fine. Plenty of rewards here for certain Sages too, you know, plenty of I don't know, discoveries to be made, just in different ways. Anyway, Sag, thank you so much for being here. I hope you liked this reading. If it didn't resonate, be sure to check out your Sun, Moon, Rising, because I think there's a type of Sagittarius that's really like not beholden to any of these things, but you might check like the Capricorn reading, you know, because that might be better if you're on like the cusp, or you might check your rising or moon sign. So be sure to do that. But if you'd like to understand more about this reading and get a central theme and supporting themes, I will be putting together an extended reading on Patreon, which is a great way to support the channel. You can get the extended readings as well as the general readings early and ad-free, all of them for one monthly fee. And you can also get weekly tea chats and early access to most of the YouTube videos that I post as a standalone. So be sure to check that out, and we can jump over there now. Click the center of your screen to go to Patreon and get the extended. Much love, Sag. Talk to you later. Bye.